Hi everybody, welcome to Shout Talk. This is going to be a new channel about talking from various topics. Nothing's off of discussion. So, but I want this to be a positive channel. Nowadays we see so much negativity. We Drama field is like the new age of almost everything. If it doesn't have drama in it, everybody wants to sit here and discard it. Stuff that actually makes sense. Um, Being a positive role model, being a great dad, a great husband, all kind of topics of like financial stuff, um, what a man should do, what a man shouldn't do. We're not sitting here glorifying uh, cheating. We're not going to glorify the mistakes people make. In my opinion, now this is mostly my opinion, and some of the people who I might bring on here in the future will have their opinion, and I'll let them have their opinion. But I want this to be a positive engagement. People who can actually have a certain conversation, tough conversations, things of that nature. We're gonna make some changes because I get up every day, and it's trust me, I have a great algorithm. But stuff I see on the news, stuff I see on TV, stuff that I see as far as friends on my personal Facebook and Instagram, stuff that is just, I'm not saying out of hand, but it doesn't make sense to me that we have so much stuff to be thankful for and grateful for in this world, and we choose to glorify the bad. Um, we could be giving relationship advice one day. I hate to talk too much politics, but we could talk politics one day. What I like to do is sit down, we have a drink, have a cigar. Today, I'm smoking on the Judge by my father. I like these cigars. I'm not promoting smoking or anything. I love cigars. That's one of my passions. This is one of my favorite cigars. That's quote unquote domestically. I love Cuban cigars. I don't like the overhyped brand Cohiba. Everybody knows what that is, because of course you got the rappers and the people that make that stuff that glorify it. Let's talk about some real things. Let's talk about financial needs. Let's talk about technically the struggles that we have as men on a day-to-day basis. Checking on mental health. What can help you, feel better as far as your position in life. Also, one more important thing about my channel that I'm going to focus on, and I think the whole world really needs to focus on this, and that's the accountability portion. So many people lack that, and that's why so much stuff to me in life goes wrong. You have arguments, you have depression, you have I can't say anxiety is in there, but I know depression. The lack of accountability can cause, in my opinion, depression, simply because if we take accountability, life is about lessons. Instead of saying, this happened, that happened, it's like, okay, I made a bad choice. And it's okay. We all do. I've made plenty of them. But I like to learn from my mistakes. And sometimes, hey, I put my hand right back up there and get burned again. I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But the accountability is a big issue for me. I see it's a big issue in this world today, that we could do so much better if we hold ourselves accountable. And I suggest that you get friends that can hold you accountable and allow you to hold them accountable. We don't make it in this world alone, right? One of the biggest problems I see, let me fire this thing up. Should have had my torch, but I don't. One thing I see that's a problem with accountability is the fact if you notice when people make it, everything is always them. Oh, I got it out the mud. I'm from the bottom, now I'm here. I did it on my own. Nobody helped me. I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. But once one thing goes wrong, or two, or three, or four, or however many, problems this person or that person may have, they it's always somebody else's fault. So right now I'm sipping oak and eating. I mentioned brands because I don't care about sponsorships. Not looking for none of those. I just feel like the world needs to hear a lot of these conversations and points that will be starting from here. Going forward, I'll drop a video every week. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Everybody who has a problem or issue, it's always something that it's somebody else's fault. I didn't get this because of this person. I didn't get here because of a racial issue. I didn't get here because of the lack of education, this and that, such. But instead of saying, no, you know what? I made a mistake. I did wrong to that person. That's why they don't trust me. I did wrong at that job. That's why I'm fired. I was late. Or I just didn't even show up. I called in too many times. And of course we all have problems. We do have issues. Sometimes we have flat tires, car troubles. I literally have been going to work and the engine gone out of a car before. And it took a few weeks to get that thing going because that wasn't cheap. And luckily I was blessed with a mother-in-law to help me, get it. Because once again, at that moment, I wasn't financially stable enough to go out and do it on my own. It's okay for us to get help, receive help. When we need help, ask for it. There are people and friends that might be around, or family members that might be around when you ask for help. Because I've witnessed it. And that's what kind of makes me so hard-headed, is that when you ask for it, it's going to come back up. They're going to let you know you're never going to forget it. You're never going to hear the end of it. But if you got a person you can ask for help that that's why you got to pick people who you're surrounded by wisely. And most of that is friends, family too, right? You can't help what family you're born in, what your lineage is, but who you take advice from, who you are mostly around, who gets most of your time. Sadly to say, my job does get most of my time. Then next thing you know, my time goes to my wife, my kids. I do honestly demand time to myself simply because I have to unwind. And when I say unwind, I come up here, I have me a stick, have me a drink. I used to drink a whole lot more than what I currently do now. And that was a problem. but I had to realize it. And it wasn't like a problem. Like, I'm not a person I'm going to drink before I go to work. I'm going to drink on the lunch break. I'm not going to drink as soon as I get off. Sometimes on the weekend, it's like a can of Pringles. Once you pop the fun, don't stop. You know, you can't stop eating, can't stop drinking, whatever. You know, I've been there. And I made that change simply because it wasn't, of course, I mean, I'm always at home. I have me a nice game room. Well, what most consider a game room. I say bonus room. We call it the boom boom room. And we sit here, politic, which means talk, have a conversation. We laugh, watch movies, we play cards. Maybe future, when it's just me, it'll be this little setting right here. More people. If I got a group of people, we might fill up the rest of these chairs. Who knows? I do have a card table over there. We sit here, we play cards. Some good friends. I haven't had many new recent friends simply because the lack of trust I do have in man. My trust is in God, Jesus Christ. And sometimes I struggle with having that trust. I do trust, but it's kind of hard, you know, when you got a situation that you're facing. And of course, it's easier said than done a lot of times, but you still just got to have that trust. Faith is in, you know, the size of a mustard seed. But I won't be having real long videos for right now. I mean, it's not necessarily a quote unquote podcast. This is just short talk. But we call it Shout Talk because I'm Shout, your host. I will always be your host. But we will have guests, some of my friends, and eventually, who knows, maybe in the future. I'm not a celebrity type person. I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm not no person that just, oh my God. But some people I would like to pick their brains. Politicians. Some artists, because I do love some artists, and that can be from a country artist to a gospel artist to a rap artist to an R&B artist. But my biggest worry is where the future is of this next generation, because I have kids. I have one grown, technically might well say two. Son just turned 18. 16-year-old and 9-year-old. Like I said, I'm married, been married since 2018, but me and that woman been together since 2010. So, very beautiful woman, love her to death. But there's a lot of conversations that need to be had, more serious stuff, things that are kind of hard to talk about. And the craziest part is some of it is simple. I was watching something the other day, and the guy said, she was like, what's the worst advice that you ever got? And he said that it's not that simple. She was like, what do you mean? He said, no, that was the worst advice that he ever got. And it made so much sense because sometimes it really is just that simple. Getting a job, put in the application. You know, call back. You don't hear some things I feel like still works in the old school way. Of course, I'm a little bit older. But we put in applications. We walked in the door, got an application, filled it out there on the spot, put it in. Hey, week go by, if that, probably 3 or 4 days, honestly, in my opinion, how we used to do. Boom, call back. Hey, some things in life are that simple. You need money. Just go to work, especially if you have the job. Some of us, I do understand, some of us have struggles when it comes to family, friends, more say family that we have to be there for, that needs us. But there again comes the point in managing the finances and trying your best to put yourself in a position, because so many people these days think about themselves, and that's a big problem. My biggest worries are, like I said, this future generation, to where some of them, a lot of them don't want to work. multiple jobs. Multiple jobs are open. And I look at them all the time because honestly, I be trying to switch my job. I love what I do, but I'm older. I'm tired. I know it's gonna wear on my body. One reason I started going to school. Even if I stay with the company is a great company. I can stay there, just go to a different position, right? So then again, because you have to think about your future, but it's like the future generation doesn't think about anything these days, and it's not a race issue because I see it on both sides of the spectrum, white, black. Honestly, I haven't seen it with too many of the Asian kids, Indian kids. I feel like our culture, the American culture, I'm not going to say the black culture, I'm not saying the white culture. The American culture has led so many kids astray. Or just the lack of teaching and telling. But also, it's so much stuff, like I said, the reason why I'm making this channel, so much negativity and drama-filled stuff that gets the attention of everybody, especially the youth. And I'm not talking about kids, the teenagers, the young adults. So much stuff has their attention to where we need to start instilling these things back into these kids these days. I see kids don't know how to change a tire, don't even know how to pump gas, or don't even care to get out and try to even pump gas. We need to get our men back to being men, our young boys wanting to grow up and be men. And I'm not saying no, anti-LGBT stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying right is right, wrong is wrong, and we take care of one another. The sense of a community has kind of gone astray as far as the future. Everybody's so alone. I do think that past stuff we dealt with, which sit here and made everybody go into solitude. So much stuff like clicked in the matter of months to switching to everything online, to where people don't know how to have face-to-face conversation no more. My generation, a little bit young and younger, has, and then there are some people who's missed 2 years of school, not necessarily school, but person-to-person contact. And I believe that's been very detrimental. We need to get back to people actually communicating, knowing how to talk, knowing how to have conversation without texting. So follow me on this journey. I hope it's going to be what I want it to be. What I feel personally that the world needs. What I feel that future generations need. I know we got to go with the times. Technology. I'm getting hip even more every day, even more. Simply because, like I said, I'm in school, and some stuff I do is online. But in-person classes still have those, and it's very beneficial to do things like that. So let's just keep this journey going. Let's have these conversations. Let me know what you think. You can leave a comment. I'm not one of them guys, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. We're not doing all that. If you like it, you like it. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. But we'll do some things, and we'll get it together. And thank y'all. God bless.